Pierre Gasly's passion for motorsport was deeply rooted in his family, where racing was a way of life. Born on February 7, 1996, in Rouen, France, Pierre grew up surrounded by a racing legacy. His father, Jean-Jacques Gasly, was an amateur kart racer, and several other relatives, including his grandfather and cousins, had also competed in motorsport. This deep connection to racing influenced Pierre from a young age, making his path into the sport feel almost inevitable. From watching Formula One races on TV to visiting karting circuits, racing quickly became his obsession. Jean-Jacques recognized Pierre's passion early on and played a vital role in nurturing it. Despite the financial strain of karting, a sport that requires significant investment in equipment, travel, and competition fees, the Gasly family made countless sacrifices to support his burgeoning career. Weekends were spent at tracks across Europe, and family vacations were traded for racing trips. While Pierre's mother, Pascale, managed the family's finances to keep his racing dreams alive, Jean-Jacques often served as his son's mechanic and coach, guiding him through the technical and mental challenges of karting. The sacrifices were not just financial. The Gasly family gave up a great deal of personal time and comfort to ensure Pierre could pursue his racing career. Jean-Jacques worked extra jobs to fund Pierre's karting, and the family forewent luxuries to invest in his future. Yet, they never doubted his potential. Pierre, fully aware of what his family was giving up for him, responded with fierce determination and a relentless work ethic. He spent hours perfecting his craft, always looking for ways to improve on the track. This close-knit family bond provided Pierre with the resilience and support he needed to navigate the early stages of his career. His father's calm guidance, combined with the values of perseverance and humility instilled by his parents, became the foundation for Pierre's journey into professional motorsport. Even as he began to rise through the ranks, moving from karting to Formula Renault and eventually to the world of Formula One, Pierre remained grounded in the lessons learned from his family, hard work, humility, and dedication. The Gasly family's unwavering belief in Pierre, despite the many sacrifices they made, was critical to his success. Their commitment not only shaped him as a driver but also as a person. This family-driven journey built the resilience and determination that would help Pierre overcome the obstacles ahead in his racing career and ultimately reach the pinnacle of motorsport. Pierre Gasly was born on February 7, 1996, in Rouen, a historic city in the Normandy region of France. Growing up in the quiet town of Bois-Guillaume, Pierre's early childhood was shaped by a close-knit family and a deep connection to motorsport. While the region was far removed from the glitz of Formula One, it was the perfect environment for a young boy with big dreams. From a young age, Pierre displayed an adventurous spirit and an energy that made it clear he was not content with a typical childhood. Even before discovering racing, he was always active, engaging in various sports and outdoor activities, particularly football, a common pastime for many children in France. However, it was clear that Pierre had an unusual focus and intensity about him, even in his earliest years. Competitive by nature, he was not satisfied with simply participating, he wanted to excel. Whether playing with his friends or tackling a school project, Pierre's competitive spirit was apparent. This inner drive would later become a key component of his success on the racetrack. Pierre's introduction to racing came at a very young age, thanks to his family's deep-rooted connection to motorsport. His father, Jean-Jacques, had raced karts at an amateur level, and several cousins also competed in karting. This exposure to racing at home lit a spark in Pierre that would soon turn into a full-blown passion. His earliest memories include watching races on television with his father, and by the age of 6, Pierre was already enamored with the idea of being behind the wheel. It was clear he was captivated by speed, precision, and the challenges of motorsport. Pierre's first experience driving came in a go-kart, a pivotal moment that hinted at his future in racing. At the age of 6, his father took him to a local karting track, where Pierre immediately felt at home. Unlike other children, who might approach the sport with trepidation, Pierre was fearless from the start. His natural ability to handle the kart, combined with his competitive drive, set him apart from the beginning. He quickly began to show signs of a budding racer, focused, determined, and endlessly eager to improve. These qualities became evident as he spent more and more time on the track, analyzing his own performance, asking questions, and relentlessly working to shave seconds off his lap times. As a child, Pierre's personality was marked by his resilience and discipline. Even in his early years, he showed an ability to handle pressure and disappointment, qualities that would serve him well as he advanced through the ranks of motorsport. Whether he was karting or playing football, Pierre had an almost obsessive desire to improve, constantly pushing himself to be better. This tenacity, combined with his natural intelligence and focus, laid the groundwork for his future success in racing. Looking back, there were several defining moments in Pierre's youth that hinted at his future in motorsport, but perhaps the clearest sign was his unwavering dedication. Even as a young boy, Pierre approached racing with a seriousness and passion that was far beyond his years. By the time he was a teenager, it was clear to everyone around him that Pierre was not just a talented young racer, he was destined for something much bigger. His early childhood, with its blend of family support, natural talent, and fierce determination, was the perfect beginning to what would become a remarkable journey to the top of Formula One. Pierre Gasly began making a name for himself in the world of racing at a young age, his talent becoming evident as soon as he started competing in karting. After his first experiences on the karting circuit in his early childhood, Pierre quickly progressed through the ranks. By the time he was a teenager, he was already competing at the highest levels of karting in France, capturing the attention of racing enthusiasts and talent scouts. In 2010, at the age of 14, Pierre finished runner-up in the French Karting Championship, a pivotal achievement that set him on the path to professional racing. His success in karting opened the door to single-seater racing, and in 2011, Pierre made the jump to Formula Renault. Competing in the French F4 Championship at just 15 years old, Pierre showcased his remarkable adaptability, finishing third overall in his debut season. This early success proved that his talents extended far beyond karting, and he soon moved up to the Eurocup Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, where he would further solidify his reputation as one of France's brightest young racing talents. In 2013, Pierre won his first race in Formula Renault and finished as the runner-up in the Eurocup, losing out to his future Formula One competitor, Stoffel Vandoorne, but proving that he had the potential to rise to the very top. One of Pierre's breakthrough moments came in 2014 when he won the Eurocup Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. This victory put him firmly on the radar of Formula One teams and caught the eye of the Red Bull Junior team, which was known for developing future Formula One stars. Pierre's dominant performance in the Eurocup, where he displayed maturity, precision, and an ability to handle pressure, was exactly what Red Bull was looking for in a young driver. Shortly after, he was signed to the Red Bull Junior team, joining a prestigious list of drivers who had gone on to Formula One, including Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo. Being part of the Red Bull Junior team accelerated Pierre's path to the top tiers of motorsport. In 2015, he moved up to the Formula Renault 3.5 series, finishing second overall in a season that saw him race against many of the sport's future stars. This strong showing earned him a move to GP2, the final step before Formula One, in 2016. Pierre's time in GP2 was marked by intense competition and a steep learning curve, but it was also where he began to truly demonstrate his championship potential. After a challenging debut year in GP2, where results were inconsistent, Pierre hit his stride in 2016 with Prema Racing. In what would become one of the most defining seasons of his career, Pierre claimed 4 victories and a series of podiums to win the GP2 championship. His thrilling win in the sprint race at Monza, where he made a daring pass for the lead in the final laps, was one of the standout moments of the season. Winning the GP2 title was a critical achievement for Pierre, as it proved he could compete and win at the highest level of junior single-seater racing. This championship victory cemented Pierre's status as a top-tier talent, and it solidified his path to Formula One. Red Bull, seeing his potential, placed him as a test driver for their sister team, Toro Rosso, before promoting him to a full-time Formula One seat in 2017. Pierre's success in GP2 and his consistent development under the Red Bull Junior team's guidance demonstrated his ability to handle the pressure and complexity of top-level racing. The program not only provided him with the resources and opportunities to race in highly competitive series, but also sharpened his mental and physical endurance, preparing him for the challenges of Formula One. Through karting, Formula Renault, and GP2, Pierre's career was shaped by his resilience and adaptability. Each success and each setback helped him climb the ladder of motorsport, and by the time he reached Formula One, Pierre Gasly was more than just a promising talent. He was a proven winner, ready to take on the ultimate challenge. Pierre Gasly's Formula One career has been marked by significant highs, but also some crushing setbacks, none more impactful than his dramatic demotion from Red Bull Racing to Toro Rosso in 2019. After an impressive rise through the junior categories and a promising debut with Toro Rosso in 2017 and 2018, Pierre was promoted to Red Bull Racing for the 2019 season. This was a major opportunity, as Red Bull was a front-running team capable of fighting for podiums and race wins. However, what was meant to be the defining moment of Pierre's career quickly became a nightmare. From the outset, Gasly struggled to adapt to Red Bull's highly competitive environment. Driving alongside Max Verstappen, one of the most formidable talents in the sport, Pierre found it difficult to match the team's expectations. Red Bull's car, known for its aggressive handling, did not suit Pierre's driving style, and he often found himself off the pace in comparison to Verstappen. His performances were inconsistent. While there were flashes of his talent, particularly in qualifying sessions, his race results were often disappointing. He struggled with tire management and race pace, finishing far behind Verstappen in most races. The pressure on Pierre mounted quickly. Red Bull is a team known for its ruthless approach to driver performance, and with every race, the scrutiny on him grew. The media began to question whether Gasly was truly ready for a seat at a top team, and his confidence began to waver. By mid-season, the cracks in his relationship with the team became more visible. The public criticism, combined with his own self-doubt, created an environment of intense pressure. It was clear that Pierre was struggling to perform at his best, not just on track, but emotionally as well. The lowest point came during the 2019 Hungarian Grand Prix, where Pierre's underwhelming performance, finishing a lap behind his teammate, marked the final straw for Red Bull. Shortly after the race, the team made the decision to demote Pierre back to Toro Rosso for the remainder of the season, replacing him with Alexander Albon. The demotion was a devastating blow. Pierre had worked his entire life to reach the top tier of Formula One, and within a matter of months, that dream seemed to slip away. For any driver, being dropped from a top team is a severe setback, but for Pierre, it was a moment that tested his resilience like never before. Emotionally, the demotion was incredibly difficult. Pierre has spoken candidly about the pain and frustration of being removed from Red Bull, admitting that it took a toll on his confidence. He felt as though he had let himself and his supporters down. The pressure and criticism from both the media and the racing world were intense, but despite the emotional weight, Pierre didn't allow the disappointment to break him. Instead, he resolved to prove himself again. When he returned to Toro Rosso, Pierre's approach changed. Rather than dwelling on his failure, he channeled his energy into improving and focusing on what he could control. The more familiar environment at Toro Rosso helped him rebuild his confidence, and he began to perform consistently well. His mental resilience, forged through months of intense scrutiny, was key to his recovery. Pierre's ability to bounce back culminated in a defining moment at the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix, where he secured his first Formula One podium with a second-place finish. It was an emotional victory, a symbol of his refusal to give up in the face of adversity. That podium not only silenced his critics but also reaffirmed his belief in his abilities. The comeback demonstrated that Pierre was more than capable of handling the pressure at the highest level. Though the demotion was a painful chapter in his career, it ultimately became a source of growth for Pierre. It taught him resilience, mental toughness, and how to handle the intense scrutiny that comes with competing in Formula One. It was a setback, but one that helped shape him into the driver and person he is today. Pierre Gasly's greatest triumph to date came on September 6, 2020, at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, where he secured a stunning and unexpected victory for AlphaTauri. It was a historic win that not only defined his career but also served as a moment of redemption following the difficult setbacks he had faced, particularly his demotion from Red Bull Racing just a year earlier. This victory was not just a race win, it was the culmination of years of hard work, resilience, and an unwavering belief in himself. Heading into the 2020 Italian Grand Prix, few expected Pierre to be a contender for the win. AlphaTauri, the sister team of Red Bull, had never been a frontrunner in Formula One. Yet, as the race unfolded, a series of chaotic events, including a red flag and time penalties for several leading drivers, gave Pierre an opportunity to fight for his first Formula One victory. When the race restarted after the red flag, Gasly found himself in the lead, holding off fierce competition from McLaren's Carlos Sainz Jr. in the closing laps. Under immense pressure, Pierre showcased his trademark calm and composure, driving flawlessly to cross the finish line in first place. The moment Gasly took the checkered flag was one of pure emotion. For Pierre, the victory was not just about the race, it was about everything he had been through in his career. After the heartache of being dropped by Red Bull and the self-doubt that followed, this win felt like the ultimate validation of his talent and perseverance. His victory at Monza was the first for a French driver since Olivier Panis in 1996, adding even more historical significance to the achievement. As he stood atop the podium, visibly emotional, it was clear that this was more than just a win, it was a triumph over adversity. For Pierre's family, who had supported him through every twist and turn of his journey, the victory was especially meaningful. His parents had been with him since his early karting days, making sacrifices to help him pursue his dream. This moment was a shared triumph, a symbol of all their dedication and belief in Pierre's potential. His emotional post-race interviews made it clear how much this win meant to him and to those who had stood by him. For his supporters, it was a vindication of their faith in him after a period where many had doubted his future in Formula One. The Monza victory also resonated deeply with the Formula One community and fans. Pierre's journey from the crushing disappointment of his Red Bull demotion to his triumphant win at Monza was a classic underdog story. Fans who had seen him struggle in 2019 now rallied behind him, celebrating his resilience and determination. It was a reminder that in Formula One, talent and hard work could still lead to fairy tale moments. This win marked a pivotal turning point in Pierre's career. No longer defined by the struggles of his time at Red Bull, he was now seen as a legitimate contender and a driver who could deliver exceptional performances when given the chance. It was proof that his talent belonged on the Formula One grid, and it erased any lingering doubts about his abilities. The victory also cemented his status as one of AlphaTauri's most successful drivers and showed that, with the right car and circumstances, he could compete at the highest level. In the context of his career, the 2020 Italian Grand Prix win was more than just a victory, it was a form of redemption. After enduring public scrutiny and personal doubt, Pierre had bounced back stronger than ever. It was a moment that showcased his resilience, mental strength, and ability to rise above adversity. For Pierre Gasly, Monza was not just the site of his first win, it was the moment he reclaimed his career and solidified his legacy as one of Formula One's brightest stars. Though Pierre Gasly's Formula One career is still ongoing, the signs of how his legacy might be remembered are already taking shape. Gasly's journey, marked by resilience and triumph over adversity, has established him as one of the most compelling and admired figures in modern motorsport. His story, rising from the heartbreak of his Red Bull demotion to winning with AlphaTauri, has already left a lasting impression. His tenacity, mental strength, and ability to bounce back have inspired fans and fellow drivers alike, suggesting that his legacy will be remembered as one of determination and perseverance, regardless of how many more victories he secures. Gasly's move to Alpine for the 2023 season marked a pivotal shift in his career trajectory. Joining a factory team brought new challenges and opportunities, allowing Pierre to further prove his capabilities in a different environment. Alpine, a team with strong ambitions to challenge the top three constructors, offered Pierre a chance to break into the upper echelons of the sport after his years of development at Toro Rosso, now AlphaTauri. The move also reunited him with fellow Frenchman and childhood friend Esteban Ocon, which added a unique dynamic within the team. The transition to Alpine has shaped Pierre's career in several ways. First, it placed him in a more competitive car, giving him the opportunity to fight for points and podiums more consistently. While the team is still building toward regular contention at the front of the grid, Pierre's performances have shown that he is capable of leading a team and contributing significantly to its growth. His technical knowledge, racecraft, and experience have been invaluable for Alpine as they work to close the gap with the top teams. His time with Alpine has also highlighted his maturity, as he has embraced the role of a key figure in a team working toward long-term success. As for his future prospects in Formula One, many believe that Pierre still has the potential to return to the front of the grid, perhaps with a top team, should the opportunity arise. His talent has never been in question, and with the right car, it is widely acknowledged that he could compete for race wins and even championships. Several paddock insiders have noted his remarkable consistency and ability to maximize results, even in difficult conditions, traits that teams value highly. If Alpine continues to improve, or if Pierre is tapped for a seat at one of the leading teams in the future, his career could reach even greater heights. Beyond his on-track performances, there are early signs that Pierre Gasly could leave a lasting impact on Formula One beyond his driving career. His calm and thoughtful approach, combined with his personal story of overcoming setbacks, has earned him a dedicated fan base. He has also emerged as a respected voice in the paddock, speaking out on issues ranging from driver safety to mental health. Pierre's transparency about the emotional toll of his Red Bull demotion and his subsequent recovery has helped break down stigmas surrounding mental health in sports, positioning him as a positive influence on the next generation of drivers. Furthermore, Pierre's growing presence in the business and media sides of the sport suggests that his influence could extend beyond his racing years. He is involved in various ventures outside of Formula One, and his charisma and appeal make him a natural fit for ambassadorial roles within the sport once he decides to hang up his helmet. He has also hinted at an interest in mentoring young drivers, possibly through team ownership or driver development programs, much like other former drivers have done. This indicates that his long-term impact on motorsport could be substantial. In summary, Pierre Gasly's legacy in Formula One is already being shaped by his resilience, his ability to rebound from adversity, and his dedication to his craft. His move to Alpine has further elevated his status as a top driver capable of leading a team to success, and there is a strong belief that his best years in F1 may still lie ahead. Whether he remains in the sport as a driver or transitions into a leadership or mentorship role after his racing career, Pierre's impact on Formula One is likely to endure for years to come.